Hello, 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 hello. How are you doing? Hey, hey, hey guys. How are you doing? I'm a little bit later than what I said I would be. Hello, hello, hello. I'm very much later, 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late, but I did it. I've been trying to get YouTube to work to do the same thing, but it's not happening. So I wanted to have this conversation. Actually, I'm going to move this. You're jealous. Oh, Lord have mercy. Listen, this is a gift from my children for Mother's Day. So cheers. But I will turn the bubbles off in a little while because... Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So it's come up to go live with Cheryl. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. Everything's steaming up in here, but I wanted to have a conversation with you guys today. Hi! How are you doing?
Not as good as you.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is, hold on. Because it is so noisy, well, the bubbles and stuff, so I have to turn it off. So I've come on here today to talk about relationships, and I don't know if you know about the relationship that's on everybody's lips at the moment. So we have Derrick Jaxn, who is Jaxn, sorry, is an American coach, relationship coach. A lot of women follow him, and he has been found to be having an affair.
Oh God!
It's that old chestnut. That old chestnut. You know, he's having an affair, and you know, hell has no fury as a woman scorned. So the other woman, being the woman who he had the affair with, has come out and said, you know, she's been sleeping with him in his home, with his where his wife is.
Wow.
And so they made a statement together yesterday. I think it was yesterday, to say that, you know, it happened some time ago, that she knows about it. They're working through it. And so I just thought it would be a good conversation to have. I know that lots of people have an opinion on this, but I want to talk about the impact that affairs have, you know, on a relationship, and on when a man has an affair or when a woman has an affair, the impact it has on the person who is the one who was being faithful. And I'm looking at his wife. There's lots of things she's doing, lots of videos and stuff. Now, this is a wife that wasn't seen. Nobody knew what she looked like, really. It wasn't a thing. But she's made several statements, and we know that his wife has low self-esteem, a low sense of worth. And it questions as to why a guy like him would couple himself with somebody in that way. Now, I don't know their story altogether. I don't know if she's recently had low self-esteem, but what I do know is she talks about how she feels about her father. She talks about even how she feels about her dark-skinned daughter. And so we have to look at it and think, there's much to talk about. I think, you know, I'm really trying to be kind here, but I think this Derrick Jaxn is a narcissist. I think he, you know, has gone out and kind of honed in on somebody that was quite vulnerable, because she strikes me as a type of woman, and I'm only going by what she has said and what she's written, that, oh my God, he's chosen me out of all of these beautiful women. So, you know, what is the impact on affairs? I know that I've been in relationships where my partner at the time has had an affair, and it kind of begs the question, it makes us question ourselves as women. What did we do wrong? Why weren't we enough? And those kinds of questions. Or what is it the other woman has that I don't have? Now, the one thing I'm going to say is I'm not into what a person looks like, but I'm going to say this. This young lady's appearance when she came on camera with this good-looking, strong, handsome, hench buck of a man, is a black man, young black guy, very good-looking, very articulate. And for those women who are sapiosexuals, who like a man with intelligence, you would be attracted to this guy, right? But this guy, this lady came in with her hair in a bonnet. She looked like she'd just rocked up out of bed. You know, she'd made no effort. And the women that he's had all these affairs with, they're all like honeys. They're like hair done, makeup, jeans, tops, really looking like hot. And he makes a statement in the interview, and he says to how she looks beautiful in the bonnet. And I'm like, you're a bloody liar. Sorry, I just have to call it as it is. Because the women that you're going for don't look like that. The women that you're sleeping with and having these affairs with don't look how your wife is presenting herself. So there's something very, very wrong. So anyway, so you can see I'm here with my friend, my sister here, Cheryl Lucas, and we're going to have a little bit of a discussion. So Cheryl.
Yes.
You know, we're grown, we're mature women.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, you know, we're not the other side of 30.
No.
We're the wiser side, as I put it. So, you know, I'm thinking about how we help our young women to feel more secure in themselves, and how we as the more mature women who are raising them up, how do we actually be real with ourselves and others about these situations when men and, you know, men have affairs, and we'll flip it in terms of when, you know, women have affairs on men, because, you know, we do have affairs, you know, we're not exempt. But what are your thoughts as to what it is that, you know, why men have affairs, and how we overcome?
Well, like yourself, I've had relationships in which men have cheated on me and had affairs, but it's only with age, and not necessarily with age, but with experience and knowledge, self-awareness, that you realize that a lot of these guys are going to have affairs anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a lot of the time it's about the men, not about the women.
Yeah.
And I also think it's and also when it's flipped as well. There are times when it you know, people say, oh, you must have not been giving your man something for him to go somewhere else and get. No, sometimes men just they enjoy the intrigue, the danger of it all, the excitement of it all. And there are men that like to have their safe woman at home, the little woman at home that they can keep in her little corner, you know, and keep the home nice and raise the children and present the image that they want the world to see of them.
Right.
When in fact, the real image of themselves is the secret one, the down low that they play. And for me, I do, having said all that, I do think that it is possible for relationships to recover from some, not all, relationships to recover from infidelities. Yeah. But it is a hard road. I think it's a very, very hard road. And I think a lot of the time, one of the two have to give in, if you were, to suppress their feelings more than the other. But I think it's a very, very hard road. having been down that road myself, I've found it virtually impossible to get back from that, especially if it's a I think because when you talk about affairs, I'm not talking about a one-night stand. I'm talking about months, years.
Yeah.
And when you think about all the hurts, all the lies that have been told, all the disappointments, all the things that you planned to do together, that there's been excuses, that the weekends away, where they were at work, right? All of those things. It is, yeah, it's tough.
I'm getting warm.
Yeah. You're enjoying that time, Brad.
I'm getting warm.
You enjoy yourself.
I enjoy myself in the tub.
You enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's my kind of thing on it. It's I think a one-time, one-night stand, I think it is easier to get over than a long-time affair, because it implies emotional attachment to someone else as well.
Absolutely. What we know about this story is that Derrick Jaxn has been with his wife, or they've known each other for 10 years. And I do believe that he's only been faithful, it's come out, in the last 6 months of their relationship. Months? Yeah, they've known each other for 10, been married for 4, and apparently, so I'm saying that I'm not here to say, oh, it's definite, because I'm not there. I'm not in between the sheets with them people. But apparently he's only been faithful in the last 4 months. Now, this is a man who says black men don't cheat. That's his slogan, not mine. He said it. Idiot, right?
Idiot.
I have to say, you know, I have followed, and I know that 8,000, he lost 8,000 followers on the first day of this story bussing. Well, 8,000, and that's probably women.
Well,
who have invested in his brand, invested in his books. Yeah. You know, he's that squeaky clean black man giving out advice to women and men to a degree about their relationships. And I just think that, you know, you cannot put your faith and your trust in a human being. Totally. No. We have to know that we are all susceptible to failure, right? We get it wrong. But I just feel like I've been watching this man, and I just think, you know, you're an idiot. Sorry, I have to call it as it is. Because here you have this brand that you've built. You've sat in front of thousands, millions of people holding on to your wife's hand for dear life. And all it appears to be is that you're scared of losing your business. It's not really. It doesn't. That's right. It doesn't appear, and I don't want to overjudge him, but I have to call it as it is. And it makes me think about the relationships that I've been in, and you know, the infidelities there. And was that person really sorry, or were they just sorry that they got caught?
He was sorry he got caught, and I totally agree with you. It was a business move. He married that woman for his business, to give the impression that he knew what a relationship was about. This man knows nothing about a relationship. As my daughter said, he shouldn't even have got married. He should have just carried on being single and doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Not now put himself on a pedestal where he's an expert on relationships and how to have a good one. And he played his wife.
Yeah.
He played her. Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And the thing is, for me, being a person who goes on social media, and I am, you guys know that I'm on social media, and the way that I see things, right, is that when you go on social media, you have to present yourself in a certain way. Now, I know this conversation is going on from one place to another, but you have to present yourself in a certain way. And he is on social media. He's on every day. He posts regular. He's in his car. He never presents himself in any derogatory way. So now he's doing this video with his wife, who nobody's really seen. And then she turns up in a bonnet like she's going to her bed. She looked like she just come out of her bed.
Oh dear.
Right? She never present herself well. And as a man who is the protector, the provider, that person who, you know, is looking over his wife, I would have thought that he would have looked at this situation and said, you know what, babes, let's just comb your hair. Let's present a little bit better. So for me, it's like the camera, he looks fine. As always, fine. And then you got this little beat down woman. Oh, you know, no. And to me, what I hope happens here, for real, is that she catches wise and she jumps on his back and rides him like a flipping donkey. That's what I want to see her do. And when I mean ride him like a donkey, I feel she should create her own following to support women who have got low self-esteem, low self-worth, and really work to improve herself. Because she mentions, the reason why I talk about the self-esteem, she mentions how she felt about her daughter and how her daughter's dark skin. Yeah. There's this lady has some real issues. Real issues that could really make, you know, when you read the stuff that she writes, it's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. And then you're like with this guru, this person, you know, who, you know, everybody's looking at and thinking, oh, he's fine, and his advice is so good. But at the end of the day, she's living in hell with her own self. You know, you're giving all this advice to all these people, but what are you advising? What are you doing to help your wife? You know, and you've got a child, you know, you've been married for 4 years, but you're taking every which woman that comes past you and shagging the life out of them. I just have to say, you know, because look, we know that like attracts like. We know that we see a person, we meet them, we talk, and the next thing you know, we're having a little something, and it's all good. But you know, you this is your wife. This is your wife, and you've just totally disrespected. And on top of that, as it's just come back to my mind, when he's doing his interviews, Cheryl, I have to say, he's talking about himself in the third person. I'm like, have you lost the plot, mate?
Oh God.
Have you really lost the plot?
It's all about him. Yeah.
He's talking about himself in the third person and giving himself advice. He's taking the piss.
It's all about him. It's all about him.
Thank you. And that's what I think. It's all about him.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I do want to talk about, I think, and I want to address is to women. And is it okay when you know that somebody's married or in a long-term permanent relationship, is it really okay to sleep with that person's partner? That's a question I want to ask. That's what I want to know.
I think that we know it's not okay, but I also think that some women and some men are told things that mislead them.
Yeah.
You know, you know, we're separated, or she knows, we've got an open relationship, blah de blah de blah.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's some women and men who don't really care.
Yeah.
You know, because they're getting what they want. But I do think that well, the question for me would be, why are you getting married if you want to be sleeping around?
Well, yeah, that's a good question to ask.
Yeah. Why did you get married if that's what you wanted to do? So for me, marriage is me and my partner. That's it. If I don't feel that that's going to be the case, then marriage is not on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I totally agree with you in terms of, you know, when you get married, it's to that person, it's for you and them to do that, to build a life and to have that connection and that commitment. But we know all too often that there are other women and men who have no regard, no respect for the institution of that marriage or that commitment. And they, as we can see with this woman, hell has no fury as a woman scorned, yeah? So this woman, you know, she knew that he had said to her that him and his wife were separated.
Yeah.
Right? Let me just put this one thing out there, right? I date. I'm dating, so I'm going to be very open and frank here. I date, and when I see on a dating thing that it says separated, I'm like, keep it moving, move on. Why?
Yeah.
I'm not if you're separated.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm only interested if you have the D paper.
Yeah.
Divorce.
Yeah.
And even then, you know, because some couples, they go back to each other after they get divorced. But I'm just saying, separated don't mean nothing to me. It just means you're undecided. So I think that with this, she said she was they were separate. He said they were separated. But when she went to the house, she saw, and this was an interview that this other woman had, she saw the woman's stuff there. She saw everything still in its place. Pictures, everything was still in its place. So wouldn't that tell you that this man is not really serious about you? Right? I'm sorry, your pum-pum ain't that hot. It's not that ready. Yeah, because pum-pum don't have no face. So as far as I'm concerned, he's made the commitment to his wife. So that would always come first. So she said that they had, she went there, and, you know, and then after a period of time, he's going back to his wife, which he did. And that pissed her off. So she then thought she would run the story and expose him, which is she has all right to do. I don't wrong her for that. But what I do wrong her for is going in the man's house, seeing all that. Because even if she was unaware of the situation from what he said, from she walked in that house and she saw what she saw, she should have walked out. To me. So I just think that this was an accident waiting to happen. She saw an opportunity and said, you know what, this is a social influencer. I'm gonna use this to better myself, earn some money, and do what she needed to do.
I certainly think that you've got to be some kind of character to go into another woman's or another man's bed in their house, knowing, like you say, when you go in and you see that the knickers are about and there's 2 toothbrushes in the bathroom, and separated or not, that there's still obviously something going on, and you're in the man or woman's bed. No.
That the time you need to shut your foot, shut your knees, and shut your mouth. Oh, shut it down. Shut it down.
Shut it down.
That's what I say.
Oh, before it gets shut down for you, because you know that the truth of the matter is that's where a lot of things tip over into violence and everything else, because it really is the ultimate hurt and disrespect to have someone jump in your bed, for sure.
For real.
Just totally. Come on now.
Right. I see somebody writing I am naturalistic. Hello, good evening. The wife is going to need therapy. Trust has gone. He made her look like an idiot. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And holding her hand and trying to talk about it and say that, you know, he's walked through the process. He does not look sorry. No. He's talking too much. I'm saying, shut your mouth, Derrick Jaxn. Sit down, shut your mouth, be humble, don't say nothing. That's what I'm saying. for a little while, but he's just talking, and he's talking about himself in third person. Absolutely, that wife, like I said, she needs to ride him like a donkey, and I don't mean ride him literally. I mean ride on his platform, create her own platform, create her own wealth, and dig up after. Remember that word, dig up? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Dig up.
Yeah.
He needs to do that.
Yeah, man. It's you know what? It's you know what does the Bible say about everything you do in the dark comes out in the light?
Yes.
Because it has come out in a big way, and like you say, if she's got any kind of sense about her or got people around her to support her, she should, like you say, ride him and create something that would help other women in this position, because if you've been through it, and I saw that someone that has been through this, I've been through this, you've been through this, it is devastating. It is absolutely devastating.
Absolutely.
It can make you lose your mind.
Yeah.
I'll put my hand up and say that when I went through it, I thought I was having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep, then you think, is it me? Have I done something? Am I going crazy? Because then they talk to you as if you're an idiot.
Yes.
They make up all these lies. And when you sit and you think about the times that you were lied to, and then you also think about who knew is the other thing. Which of your friends, of his friends, knew and didn't say anything?
And don't say nothing to you.
Didn't say nothing. It just breaks.
Because, I think natural as it's saying that I've been the other woman and karma catches you in the end. It does. I mean, I think we've all, maybe there might be a few people who haven't. I've been the other woman in my younger day, and I learned from that. I learned from that, and it does come back to bite you in the bum. And you're right, And the thing is, as the other woman, I was around the friends too, so the friends know.
Yeah.
So it's a whole big pot of deceit.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And in this day and age, and in this current climate of what we all are going through globally, right? Wait a minute. Mr. Something leak. Right? What we're all going through globally. I think, we've got to look at this completely different now. We've got to look at it and be, that person that says, this is not the way. This is not the way, and this is not how we're going to do and move forward. I think, when we, especially as women, we struggle more often than not with low self-esteem, low confidence, low self-worth. And I think that, we have to come to a place where we start to really support each other.
Yeah.
And I know that women are untrusting. I know that we are untrusting at the best of times, but I think there comes to a time now where we got to, if a woman's coming to you and saying, you know what, I saw your man and he's and this and that, rather than cuss out the woman, just say thank you, thank you for that, and then go and investigate. And you don't have to go and say, oh, Sister Watermelon come and said to me, the watermelon, because the Malta water with lyrics, Sister Watermelon has come and said, oh, XYZ. No, you don't have to do that. What you need to do is be smart about it and go around and see what you can find out without actually putting anybody in the equation, and then find out and then deal with the situation head on. Knowing in your mind, okay, so we know that men cheat, right? We know that, let me put it out there, we know that people cheat. Right? People cheat, right? So you have to go with the mindset is, what do I want out of this? What is the end result that I want? Do I want to carry on in this relationship and make it work? Or do I want to just bust his ass and cut out his car? Do you know what I mean? You've got to make and have that in your mind, the emotiveness and the emotional, because we as women, we are emotional first. So we have to look at those things and think, right, what is it I want out of this? Do I want this man? Do I want to disrupt my family? Do I want to disrupt it in a way that it will never be a fully functioning family again? And then you go with your evidence. So when he's ready to chat his lies, you can just tell him, shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
Right? Shut it. Oh. Say, shut your bloody mouth and talk the truth. Shame the devil. Talk the truth.
Yeah, it is true.
That's what I'm saying. I could look, my glasses are steamed up. But heal the hurt and stop competing with each other, but complete each other. Sisterhood. Yeah, that natural mystic is saying, we need to heal the hurt and stop competing. And that's true. Oh, this woman, she's after my man. Yes, there are some licorice women out there. There are. But we have to kill that licorishness with kindness. And because they say that there's 7 women to every 1 man. I'm not so sure, because there's a whole heap of men out there in the world. If you go in the deepest part of the bush, you will find you will find 1 man dingo man. Bring him out the bush.
Listen,
I don't know, but I know that we tend to look in one place, but there is a scripture that I am living by right now, and it says, cast your net on the other side. Right? You've toiled all night, and it's a principle, it's a parable that Christ talked about in the Bible that we read, and where the disciples went out all night and they were fishing and they were looking for lots, they were looking for fish, they were looking for something, and they kept casting their net on one side, and they never got anything from it. And then they spoke to Christ, and Christ said, cast your net on the other side. Because you see, you can't look at one place and expect it to just appear. Sometimes you've got to go out of your comfort zone, out of your way, in a different way to find what you're looking for. So for those of you who are listening, who are single, who are looking for that partner, and it's not the first one you meet that's going to be if you meet the first one and he's perfect for you, well, God bless you. I'm just saying, it might take a few to meet before you meet the perfect one. But I'm going to suggest to you to cast your net on the other side. And because of this word, I'm just saying, I am dating. And there's 4 to choose from. I'm just saying. And the well was dry. When I was casting the net on one side, there was nothing there. Nothing. It was dead, empty, nothing. But there are good men out there. But take your time. Take your time. And if a man is chatting what I call bull crap to you in your ears, like obviously this Derrick Jaxn is in his wife's ears, you must know within your own heart, within your own spirit, because let's be honest, isn't it, Cheryl? We know this.
Yeah.
We've got intuition.
That's right.
We have a superpower.
Yep.
Thought someone was coming in then. Utilize it. Exercise it.
And that's the thing, Yvonne. A lot of the time, when I was in my relationship where the person was cheating on me, I knew something wasn't right.
Right.
I had no evidence, but I knew something was off. And a lot of the time, if we're all honest, all those times that you've had those intuitions, whether it be about your relationship, about something else, about a friendship, but you can't put your finger on it, it is right. The spirit tells you.
Right.
The spirit tells you. And you have to listen to that voice. Listen to your voice.
Yeah.
Listen to that voice. Just look and observe. I will be honest. When I was younger, I had a hot temper, the betrayal.
Yeah,
And
Gemini, innit?
yes.
Yeah, fire.
Yes. It was fire. I went from calm to being, like I said, I thought at one time I was losing my mind because I've been lied to. And it's painful and it's hard to get over. And it's not something that is easy to get over. It's really hard. And you can intellectualize it as much as you like. Oh, you know, and be all sweetness and light and on all the rest of it. But it is a hard thing to get over a betrayal of trust.
Yes.
It is
absolutely
hard. Yeah, very hard.
It is, but it's very, very hard, and you have to have a very determined spirit, I think, and nature to get over it. But it's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but I also think that you also need to have a good support network, good friends.
Yes.
You know, girls, sisterhood is so amazing. You know, when you've got good friends that will shore you up through those times, and to know that a lot of women that you don't think have had the same experience but they've reached a point, but it took years, and even you know, after I met my husband as well, there were times when I had to check myself because this was a totally different person I was dealing with.
Right. Oh, you're touching on something. Let me just go on the water.
Yeah, go on, take a dip.
You're touching on a thing. You're touching on a thing, Cheryl. You are.
Yeah.
Because, you know, recognizing that the partner that you are with is not the person that caused the damage.
That's right.
And a lot of us as women, when we go into new relationships, that's what we do. We bring the old bullcrap, as I like to call it, into the new stuff. Carry on, Cheryl.
Yeah. And therefore potentially damage your relationship, or your new relationship with a person that is totally different. And you do have to have self-awareness, and putting a magnifying glass on yourself. It's not always pretty.
No,
it's
not always pretty.
Nah, it's not always pretty. You have to do some serious checking and kind of working on yourself. You know, Natural Mystic said, you know, I don't mistrust anyone until they give me a reason. And do you know what? I kind of used to say that too, but when you have an intuition, I'm not saying don't be horrible to that person, but if you have an intuition about something, if something in the spirit is moving, then just listen to it. Just be aware.
Yeah. It will never lead you wrong. I believe
just be aware. That's all. You know, so yeah. That was kind of my thing. But the hardest thing to know is yourself.
Yeah, and you know, we had the show last night, you know, where the men were talking, you know, and it was evident. The one thing that we all agreed on was that, you know, we all have to take responsibility for ourselves. My thing is, I have a little slogan that I use is, everything starts with me. It starts with me first. And I say that, and in my groups, in my, you know, when I'm coaching clients, I'm saying, you know, everything starts with me. Say it, everything starts with me. And it's for that person to take responsibility for themselves, that it starts with them. And you know, trust. We're talking about trust, but trust of self is another thing that, you know, a lot of us, especially women, we're so quick to trust other people and not trust ourselves, not trust our instincts. When our instincts is telling us, don't do that, don't go with that person, don't talk to that man, don't, you know, don't get involved. We're like, oh, but he seems so nice, and I'm so lonely, and you know, my body's just itching me, and my pum is talking to me, and I just want a little fun, and I'm keeping it real tonight. I'm not even, you know, it's because we need to hear this.
Yeah,
these are the things that we need, because these are the lies that we tell ourselves, and then we end up in situations, and then we want to blame the man, but actually. We already knew how the man stayed before we even went there.
That's true.
So we have to take responsibility for that and not blame, point the finger and say, oh, but he did this and he did that, and he took advantage of me. No, you opened up your foot. That's what you did. You opened up your foot. You didn't put a gun to your head. You opened up your foot because you wanted to take man. That's what happened. I'm just saying. And I know it might sound coarse and crass and all of that stuff, but sometimes we just need to tell the truth.
Yeah.
As it is.
And not just that, as just said, I wonder if trauma can make our instincts wrong. I think, yes, they can. That's because you don't know yourself.
Yeah.
And like I say, the hardest thing is to know yourself.
Yeah.
And to recognize when someone has, you've kind of allowed someone to damage you and to cause you trauma.
Yeah.
And is to recognize that. And that's where it is good sometimes. Well, a lot of the time it's good to take time just for you.
Okay, so I want to address can trauma make our instincts wrong? When you are in tune with you, your instincts will never lead you wrong. I'm telling you this because I've been in trauma. I was raped at the age of 11 by a family member. And so I'm gonna put my neck out here and say this, that when you start to know yourself, trust yourself, then your instincts will never ever lead you wrong. What it is that when we are in trauma, we live in the pain of the trauma. And it's the pain of the trauma that it's not the instinct, it's the pain of the trauma that leads us down the wrong path. And so when you deal with the pain, and pain, I think it was Yelania Van Sant who gave the acronym for pain, is pay attention inward now. When you pay attention to that pain and you start to deal with that pain and you start to really look at it for what it really is, take responsibility for the pain, because even though I was 11 years old, and it's a hard thing for people to fathom, but even though I was 11 years old, I still took responsibility for what happened to me as a child. Because when you take responsibility, you take ownership, and that thing can never then have or lord itself over you. When you take responsibility for something, then that thing can't manipulate your mind. You take control, you take the step, you take the authority over what has happened. You take authority over that demon that tried to possess you, tried to possess your mind, tried to possess your body, because that's what it is. What does demons do? Demons come to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what they come to do. And that's what sexual abuse does. It comes to kill, it comes to steal, and it comes to destroy. So when you then take ownership and say, hold on a minute, I'm taking ownership for this. I'm taking full responsibility for what happened to me. And I'm going to look that thing right in the eye. Your instinct, your mindset, and all of that begins to change. And you start to take authority over that thing that came to take you out. So, I mean, that wasn't part of what this conversation was supposed to be about. But I'm just saying, you know, your instinct is a gift from the Almighty. You might, whatever you want to call it, you might call it universe, you might call it Gandhi, but I don't know what you call it. But God, the Almighty, the Creator, the Source, the one who breathed life into us and said, let there be, and there was. That is a gift. Your instinct is a gift that God has given you to lead you and direct you on your path. So never ever think, oh, because of the trauma. You rise above the trauma. You deal with that trauma. You take responsibility for that trauma, deal with it, and move on. And listen to your instinct, because it will never do you wrong. That's my 3 words. As I sit down in the water.
Your 3 words?
I can't even see.
Yeah.
Oh no. So yes. So Cheryl, how's it go?
Yeah. So, I like that. Hope, HOPE, hold on, pain ends.
Yes,
That
that's
is
good.
so true.
It is. It does. It does.
It does.
Thank you. Not just you're welcome. You know, you know, it took me 34 years to speak my truth, to speak my story. And I don't hold it back now. You know, I am healed. But I'm healed because of Christ. I'm healed because of my belief. I'm healed because I got to the point where you can't allow a man or woman or anyone who abuses you to rule you and rule your life. You just got to, you know, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb. Easter is coming. Praise God. You know, and that's where I am. You know, I'm not taking back no talk neither tonight. I'm just talking it as it is because I believe in what I believe in, because it's what set me free. So I just hope by sharing that it's helped somebody else to be free. I do.
Yeah.
And you know, and as for Derrick Jaxn and his wife, I wish them all the best. I just want her to rise up and ride him like a flipping donkey. That's
do you know, all joking aside, I think that she needs to do something for not only for herself, but I think for her to stay in that situation without it changing,
right,
is sending such a terrible message, not only to other women and young women out there, but her own child.
Yeah, to her
because
daughter,
she's
absolutely.
setting up her child to have the same life. And if all of us are honest, a lot of us have relationships based on what we've grown up and seen or what we've experienced. And we just perpetuate the same old story, same old story. And whether it be, if you look in families, may it be a generational thing where we have children out of wedlock, or we have abusive relationships, or we stay with a man that is abusive to us, whether it be mentally or physically, then perhaps our mothers had the same thing, or our fathers were that kind of thing. And that's, we have to stop. That's right, repeating the cycle.
Absolutely.
We have to stop. You know, so, you know, that's kind of, I really hope that she does. I think it'd be a real disappointment if you know, if she doesn't change in some way. I'm not telling the woman to leave her marriage, but she needs to change within that marriage if she stays in that marriage. And it has to have a different blueprint.
Absolutely. She needs to do something.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking yesterday about, you know, some of the men was like talking about the roles. Women are not in their right place, and the, you know, the roles have been reversed. And I just think that sometimes you just have to step up, because, you know, the person that you are with is not in their place. Because clearly Derrick Jaxn is not in his place, because his place, the place he is, has been in other women's pum-pum. That's where he's been. And that's not the right place, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, so she, I think, has to take a level of control here. If she really wants her marriage to work, and that relationship to work, and her daughter to have a father that, you know, she can look up to, I think she's going to have to take some radical action to change this.
Yep.
Otherwise, you know, in a year's time we'll hear that they're no longer together. That's what we'll hear.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. I don't, you know, I'm not here to say, oh, leave him. You know, whatever she decides is whatever she decides. That's not why we're here. But, you know, we know that people have affairs every day. We know that. But it's damage control now. It's damage control. And how is that, you know, going to affect their relationship? And how is that going to affect her self-esteem? If her self-esteem is already low, you know, on what can she do now to change that? And like you said, she you know, she has to really look at that relationship and put some stuff in place to change that, how it is, especially for her daughter.
Yeah. I mean, because I do think, you know, how we're talking about how the men were saying about how things have changed. Do you know what? Depends what society you're in, because there's some societies where women run the household and the men stay at home and look after the kids and the cattle. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I do think whatever works for you works for you.
Yeah.
Right. You know, there is no definitive way of saying it, because let's face it, a lot of women earn more than their husbands.
Yeah.
Right. And who better to look after your children than either their dad
Either
or their
parent,
mother?
right?
Yeah, one of the parents, one of the other. So if you're in a position where the script is flipped, then so what? It doesn't. There is no hierarchy in that, because to say that, you're then saying that child rearing, looking after your children and staying at home, is a demeaning job. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
When we all know, as well, the ones of us that are parents, we know what an important job it is to be that parent at home with your child, male or female,
Yeah.
guiding your child and not letting somebody else take the responsibility for doing that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And we also have to remember that this is a man's world. As James Brown said, this is a man's world, but it's nothing without a woman anywhere. But he said it's a man's world. And so we have to remember that in terms of how society is, it has been predestined by men from the beginning. This is not something that we have set. This is something that was put upon us. And so, you know, and now we're seeing women rise up. And it just makes me wonder if this was, the roles were not right in the first place. I'm just saying, it could be. Has anybody thought of that? Is it that, you know, because we talk about roles and, you know, it's the woman's place to do this and it's the man's place to do that. But who says that's the way it's supposed to be? Who set that plan anyway? Wasn't it a man? Yes, it was a man. And we've just conformed to it because we didn't have the ability or the say or anything to go against the grain. But now, as like I say, men have dropped the baton. Men dropped the baton. They dropped the baton through infidelity. They've dropped the baton through just leaving the women with their children to raise them on their own. There's many reasons why men have dropped the baton, and I'm not here to have a go at men. That's not what I'm about. But I'm just stating a fact. Men have dropped the baton, and women's picked it up, and the women have picked it up and running with it like they're running a relay. And they're not dropping the baton; they're passing it to another fearless woman who's running. And so when we look at it, and in terms of the roles and how it works, now women are doing everything that men can do and are actually doing it better. Anyway, what's it? And a lot of women wish they could stay in the home, but they need to feel secure and see stability in their partner's patriarchy. Absolutely. A lot of women, I mean, when I was raised, especially my daughter, I went back to work when my daughter was 3 months old. I would have liked to have stayed at home and raised her, but I had to put her in childcare. Why? And, you know, her father had a very good job.
Unfortunately, that has been the case and continues to be the case. And I think what happened with that, because I the same thing with me was that I went back to work very, very quickly. I think actually I was back to work within a month, if not less. But the difference was that my daughter's father was an excellent father. So even though we weren't together, he provided that support and he was a great dad. So, but I saw a lot of my friends who didn't have that support. But that's why I'm going to go back to the sisterhood thing. It is so important to have a sisterhood thing, because I have a small group of friends that we helped each other. We helped each other, and because I worked nights, I looked after the kids during the day, and they helped me with my daughter in the evening, and vice, so we had a little village going. Yeah. And that village mentality is very important, and it was mentioned before. I think we, as women, we need to concentrate on relationships and friendships. Absolutely. Rather than romantic things first. Get right. Get the basic
Mm.
foundation there first.
And build on that. You know,
And
you
build
can't
on
build
that
on
foundation.
sand, it'll fall.
No.
But you
No.
have to have a solid foundation. I think that's a really poignant point, that we do need the sisterhood.
Mm.
And we need it more now than ever before.
Mm. Mm.
You know, and, you know, unfortunately, I mean, if, you know, the men need the brotherhood, they need support. But likewise, you know, we need the sisterhood to help us with the children, because let's face it, in a lot of cases the men are not there.
Mm.
And I'm hoping that the men will start to rise up and start to do better, especially now that we're having these kind of conversations to bring things together. And I know that some of it is older men, and the children are now grown. So the hard work really has been done. But we want to be at a place where we can still instill this into the younger generation, that they won't make the same mistakes that some of our men have made, you know, and women, because we you know, the mistakes are for each party to take responsibility for, because it cannot just be one side in every case. Everybody have to take responsibility for what they're doing and how they behave.
Yeah, true.
Right. So I am Natural Mystic says, I try to support girls into womanhood through mentoring. Yeah, absolutely. And we need more mentoring schemes for young women. We really do. For young people. We really, really do. Because what I see a lot of young women who are living a life of fakery. They're not actually embracing who they are as black females. And I'm just going to talk about black females right now, because I can't talk about white females, because I'm not white, I'm black, right? But I can talk about them, but I choose not to today. And I live in a university town, and I see many black girls with the overly long European look hair extension, so you could sit on it. And whilst I think there's nothing wrong with it, I think to myself, are you denying your real beauty of who you are? And I'm not a naturalist. If you want to wear makeup, if you want to wear weave, if you want to wear hair extensions, all of that, so I'm up for that. I'm a hairdresser by trade, you know, and have worn wigs, have worn weaves, have weaved people's hair, relaxed people's hair. You wear your hair how you want, but I question why it has to be so long. And why this, you know, the whole contouring and the contouring of the nose to make it look straight. And we were talking about this last night after the show, after the After Dark show, and I was just like, my nose, I've got a fat nose, and I'm very proud of my fat nose. I'm not trying to make it look any smaller, because it's who I am. I have a fat nose, you know, fat nose mother, fat nose father, make fat nose picnic. That's me, right? That's how I see it. So, but I do question why younger women are trying to have a more European appearance. And it really is, you know, I really feel about, we must embrace who we are and love who we are at our core, you know. Like I say, fat nose mother, fat nose father, make fat nose pick me like me. So, and my dad has quite a bridge on his nose actually, and it's quite straight, but my mother's nose was fat, and that was the gene that had the most power, and so I have the fat nose. And I love my nose. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it, and I embrace it. So, you know, when we are mentoring and when we are talking to our youngsters and our young girls, you know, I think we have to encourage them to see themselves beautiful. Even if the hair is kinky and tight and it's not as long, embrace it.
I do think that it is. Actually, I can't even say it's symptomatic of living in a European culture, because I think if you go to countries like Africa and the Caribbean, a lot of the young girls are embracing the hair and everything else. And what you and I are both in the entertainment business, and we've done it ourselves, because
Mm.
it's seen as the glamorous, you're not quite black, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got this hair that, you know, and it's big and it's beautiful and it's long, and what, regardless of how much a lot of youngsters feel that they are self-confident, majority of the time, every image that they see,
Yeah.
every image that they see in a glamorous magazine,
Yeah.
even if there is a black woman on it, she's got the hair, she's
Yeah.
got the weave on,
Yeah.
right? She's got the contour of
Yeah.
the nose. She's, you know, so all of that European standard of beauty,
Yeah.
and it doesn't just translate to black women. You see it. You see Asian women doing the
Yeah.
same thing. You see Chinese women having the operations to make their eyes more round, and
Yeah.
on all just kind of just not feeling that their ethnicity is good enough because
Yeah.
it's not European.
Yeah.
In
It's a
right,
representation. Somebody's
represent.
saying. So,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, you know. So until we start embracing our hair, I mean, our hair is so versatile.
Our hair's beautiful.
Our hair is amazing, and it took me. I think my hair's been natural for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I just suddenly decided, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. You know, I'm wearing a wig and my head is itching, and you're patting your head. What is wrong?
The pit pat.
You know,
Oh my god. Yeah.
you know, and the wind blow too hard, and the wig is lifting it. No, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
It is what it is. This is what I am. I can't be more beautiful than how God made me.
Yeah.
And this is the hair that God gave me.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
And it's
This is like
amazing.
menopause.
Yeah, you know.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
This is like
with Haitian joy.
menopause. Hello.
Yeah.
I need to stay cool.
Yeah.
You know, menopause. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is.
Mm.
But I, don't run away from who I am. And I just want us, no matter how a person wants to feel or what they do to feel beautiful, I think, we just have to accept ourselves for who we are.
Mm. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know what this is. Our hair grows towards the sun and the stars. But, I do want to just thank people for joining here. I mean, this is, I've not really long started this kind of page. And it was more about the sex toys. This page was. And I've kind of like just changed it to the show. I thought, let me just build a following. That's better. Here, and let's just start talking about relationships as a whole, because there's so much to talk about that we don't get to talk about on the show on Tuesday night. So it's been really great having this conversation, and we've covered many things in this conversation. So it's been really good. I didn't know who would be here 8:00 tonight, this evening, and I really don't know how Instagram really works. So I thought you only get sort of like an hour on a live, and I think we've just gone over an hour.
Yeah.
And it hasn't clicked off yet, so I don't know.
Love you too.
So we're just chatting.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said, with the After Dark show is on a Tuesday night. It's on YouTube. It's from 10 till midnight, and we do go behind the black curtain and talk about relationships. Oh, we've got somebody from Amsterdam. Hi, my darling.
That's my daughter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Hi. I'm like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
Oh, G. It's G. Hi, darling. How are you? Oh, yeah.
Your second daughter.
Yes, your second. Absolutely. My second daughter. Absolutely. Hi, Tasha, as well. Natasha's here as well, tapping with Tasha. So,
Yes.
you know, if you want to make big shifts, tapping really, really helps. I've had some tapping with Tasha. She really has a good service. Hello. I think my daughter's here. Huh? Yeah, you can come in. They can't see you if you stand over there. I'm on Instagram. So that's my daughter who doesn't like to be in front of the camera. She likes to be behind the camera. Yeah. Hello. She's like, goodbye. So and also just to say this this lovely gazebo and a hot tub is courtesy of that hot tub guy. That's what the company is called, and they come and they put it in your garden or your sitting room or wherever it is you want it, and they set it up. So it's a really good thing. So I'm this is going to be here all weekend, so every day. Today was my day off, so I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I need to do some work, but I don't know. I don't. Tasha said it looks great in there. It is absolutely great. I've turned the bubbles off because it's you know, you wouldn't be able to hear, and I wouldn't be able to hear Cheryl talking in terms of what's going on here. But you know, we've had a good conversation, and all I can say to Derrick Jax's wife is, you know, love yourself.
Yes.
Love yourself. You know, and you know, one of the can I say this? Yeah, one of the things that strikes me as well, especially when people have affairs, is then they start calling on God. I'm just saying, right? And some don't use God as a cop out. Don't use God as a cop out. I'm just saying, don't use, you know, the Most High as your get out card, or to try. Oh, I'm praying and God is helping, and you know, me and my wife and God and because when you was opening up the woman's foot, you weren't looking to God. Oh, we just say that.
That finishes it. That's it. That's the drop the mic.
And the only time when you're calling, oh God, is when you're having the orgasm. Oh yes. God. Yeah, right. But yeah, let's not do that. It really, because I was watching it and it was really jarring my head, really jarring me. That how God was in every sentence, and I'm like, but when you was with that girl down the road, you weren't calling on, you didn't even acknowledge.
That's right.
You know, so let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's just be honest and just say I failed as a man.
Yep.
You know,
as a husband,
I let my desires get the better of me. And, you know, I saw all these women and they were looking good and they were putting it on me and I wanted it. And my wife was looking, I don't know, dowdy, because we know that people have fetishes. People like a certain look. Because all the women that Derrick Jaxn's been with that I've seen, they're all hotty girls. And your wife, no, not hotty. I'm just saying.
So she needs to hot up herself.
So she needs to hot up. She needs to become hotty. Maybe that's what it is. But you know, men like, some men like lingerie, some men like this, men like what they like. So if you're with your man and you want to keep your man, you know what he likes. So you serve him what he likes. You know, because there's no point in putting a plate of food in front of a man knowing that, you know, he put a steak in front of a man knowing that he don't eat meat. Why would you do that? But if he eats fish now, you'd present something to tantalize his taste buds. And that goes for what we see as well. That goes for our relationships as well. You know, so that's just me saying anyway. But I want to thank everybody is any questions? Anybody have any questions? Those who are on here, do you have any questions? Flying creek. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Do we have any questions that we want to ask before we call it a night? If there's anything that you want to ask. And I think I will be back I think I'm going to do this on a Friday night. I think it'll be a good night to do. We're actually thinking about changing the night of After Dark as well. As things start to open up and people start to go back to work, we are thinking about, or should I say, I'm thinking about maybe doing it on a Friday night, instead of a Tuesday night. I think it will be more fitting, but who knows? We'll see. Still, you know, the jury's still out. I'm still debating. Thank you for your honesty. Yeah. And you know, like I say, if you want to hire a hot tub, you know, go to that hot tub guy. They're on Instagram and they are on Facebook, and I'm sure that they will sort you out with a great package. Tasha say, thank you, ladies. See you soon. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you've got something out of this conversation. But for now, I'm going to say, my darling Cheryl, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. I wish I was in the tub there too.
Well, you can come over. It's here all weekend, you know.
All right.
And you know, I'm running low on Prosecco though. I finished it.
All right, don't worry. I got Prosecco.
All right, my darlings. Well, have a blessed night, guys, and I will catch you guys soon, and hope that you have a great evening. And I can feel lots of love. And so, thank you so much.
Take care.
We will be back again on next Friday. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.